Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy holidays to you all. My name is Rhythm. This will be a very in depth reading. I will be doing a lot of channeling as well as pulling cards. I'm going to get straight into the reading because I have been channeling messages for this reading for a minute now. So let's get started. Babe, you know I've been by your side this whole entire time. And you know I have supported you through thick and thin. I want you to know that I got you no matter what. You know I love you very deeply. Even when you were in the streets, mobbing, doing things you weren't supposed to do, I've always been by your side. I've always protected you. And I want you to know that it would break my heart to see if something happened to you. And I know that you've changed a great deal, and I know that you've changed a lot. But I want you to know that I love you more than she does. And no matter what happens, I'm always going to be here for you. I'm always going to protect you, no matter what, through thick and thin. Because remember, it's us against the world. But I'll make sure she never finds out about me. Damn, that's deep. Whew. We're going to pull cards. A delight in a venture. Someone has been having a secret affair. And this woman has basically been protecting this masculine energy for a long time. She knows about you is what I'm hearing. But she's so loyal to him that you've thought that you have been the only one, and the truth is you haven't. You may have kids with him, and you may be married to him. But she's been in the darkness a long time too. The thing is, she'll never betray him. I'm feeling like, honestly, it was supposed to be a one-time thing, but it turned into something deeper. It turned into something more. The thing about her, she respects boundaries. You may have seen her before, but she'll never let you know. You may have crossed paths with her. But again, she'll never let you know because she's loyal to him. She may have her hooks so deep in him. And I know it hurts for you to hear this, but there's moments when she's been there when you haven't. And this started after you guys were together. But I feel like there was a point in time in your connection that you backed away from your partner and you distanced yourself. And this person was very loyal, I'm hearing, to you. There's an old saying though. Most people say if somebody else is able to come in, then that person don't love you anyway. That's not always the case. Sometimes a person can be so loyal and so respectful and truthful to you. Sometimes they need you. What happened in this case is, what I'm hearing is, this woman started paying attention to him when you weren't. She started giving him advice. She started being there for him. She started helping him with small things, and then it grew into larger things. And he tried very hard to protect his relationship and his marriage. Now, I'm not saying wrong is wrong regardless. What I'm telling you is I'm just channeling the backstory and I'm letting you know. You knew that he was out in the streets. You knew that he was mobbing. You knew that he was doing other things. You knew he changed for you. But also I'm hearing there were a lot of nights and a lot of days you chose to put your career and yourself above him. And this also might have happened when you guys had time apart from one another. She could have came in then. She could have began to be a friend to him. Someone that he was able to lay burdens on. He was able to connect with. She always knew her place though, this other woman. She never actually overstepped her boundaries. She always respected him in a way. And she knew that you were there. I'm hearing that she grew fond of him and she started falling in love with him. And she started cherishing him deeply. This is the crazy thing what I'm hearing. As far as her, she actually was never in a relationship with anybody else. So this became her first love. This woman may have even been a virgin or maybe messed with one or two people. But the thing was, he was the very first person that she actually ever loved. And she loved him deeply and fell head over heels for him, where she was willing to do everything that you weren't willing to do. Yes, you guys bought the house. Yes, you guys had children together. But you chose to show your family and your friends and give everybody else attention rather than him. You disconnected from him. You retreated from him at times. She actually retreated to him, is what I'm hearing. She helped him out in his darkest, deepest moments when you would tell him to figure it out, when he had no one, is what I'm hearing. A new romantic cycle actually is beginning in this connection. Here's the thing though. This may have been your first true love also. This feels like a three-way cycle basically. Because it might be none of you have actually truly loved anybody else. You've always maybe played games. I'm not saying all of you, but one of two of you might have actually played games with other people. You may have never actually taken anything really serious. You may have had your heart broken once, maybe twice in the past, but it was a situationship. You never actually truly put your guard down, but with them, you did because they put in the work. They tore down all the walls. They opened up all the doors. But then once they opened up all the doors, you started retreating. You started pulling back and pushing away from them. And they kept running to you and they kept moving forward. But you always kept yourself at a distance. Even when this commitment deepened, you only gave them so much. You never gave them more than you wanted because you're like, I'm only going to give them this much. And you never told them. And they always felt depressed at times because they yearned for your love. They yearned for your affection. Some of them actually got your affection and they got your attention. But when you took this time apart, when you guys broke up, this other person came in and they started falling in love with them. That's what happened. And what I'm channeling is, if she didn't express her feelings to him until way later on, she didn't express how much she loved him until he started pouring his heart out to her. She even did something that was crazy that he hasn't even found out about to this day, because she didn't want to affect your marriage, even though that she was already having an affair with your husband. She had an abortion and never told him. And it hurt her, and she's still hurt over that to this day. In ways, she already knew that she loved him just as you do, so she didn't want to hurt you even more if you ever did wind up finding out that this affair exists. So she plays it very smart, and she keeps her distance. She doesn't text or call like that. She'll make sure she deals with him on a business level, and she keeps her distance and things like that. When he needs her, she's always there for him. It's like she's sitting and waiting. She can live her day-to-day life, but she lives it for him whenever he comes back into the picture. But she never stops thinking about the fact of why you have children with him. She never stops thinking about the fact that the child that she gave up. But what she does think about is the fact that she respects. She thinks about the fact that she knew that what would you think if you found out that another child had his name outside of your marriage? Divorce. That's what she doesn't want to happen for him. So what she does is she stayed quiet, because she knew if this child was born, you're smart enough that you might wind up finding out one day or coming across some paperwork that's saying that this child exists. And she didn't want him to get a divorce. And she told him this. There were nights where he did think about leaving because of the fact of you did not give him what he deserved. There were nights where he told her, she always puts everybody else before me. She never gives me the attention and everything. And she would tell him, hey, don't leave her. You have kids with her. She does love you. She'll grow in time. Your kids are only a couple years old. She persuaded him to stay with you. And eventually, she stopped having an affair with him. And she just continued to basically be his ear and help him when he went through the hard and bad times. This is getting deep. Your worth doesn't depend on the other person. That's something that she had to let him know. As much as you love her, your worth does not depend on the other person. But she's like, I love him. He knows that she loves her still. But she fights so that he can stay married. There was a time in your relationship where everything felt like it was lost. And do you know who wound up saving this marriage and saving you from being financially bankrupt and financially messed up, it was her. She gave him the money to take care of your family. She gave him the money that he needed, and you never knew. In this picture right here, if you pay attention, this man is sitting there and he's thinking deep, looking at this paperwork, looking at this contract. And he's thinking about both of these women, is what I feel like, both of you. And he's like, I hate nothing about you. Through his toughest times, he winds up calling her, and she helps him out. But as time went on, she's tried to distance herself from him because the pain grows deeper and deeper. And one day they wind up having this conversation, and I'm going to channel this conversation, what I feel. One night they wind up making passionate love. And eventually he wants this connection to get back started, and she tells him the truth. The reason why I have distanced myself from you is because I have an obsession with you. And because I know that we have a connection. And I know you have a wife. But there are times when I'm starting not to care because I love you so much. And I don't want to see you with nobody else. I don't want to see you with her. But I also don't want you to leave her. And I'm willing to be the other woman. I'm willing to be the woman that you need if that's what you need. And I will continue to hide myself, and I will continue to protect you. But here's the thing. A situation is about to explode. Shit is about to pop off in flames. Because this woman is actually about to find out she's pregnant again. And this time she's not going to be paying attention. This time she's going to keep this child. Now he's going to wind up having two separate families. Take what resonates, leave what don't. This child, when she winds up having this child winds up giving her a sense of hope. And she asked the creator of the universe for forgiveness. And please forgive me for messing up this marriage, but I do love this man. She knows a lot about his past, even things that you don't know that he's done. And she's never once judged him for the things that he's done.